My name is Ben Foote. I am committed to be mayor of Ottumwa. I just want to start off saying, hey, if you haven't voted, you can still vote. I would encourage you to get out there and do so. Um, but time's running down. As far as what my phone says, in less than 14 days, it'll all be over. So get in there, vote. Um, Today, I wanted to talk about public safety, and I'm a little bit I don't want to say concerned, possibly. Public safety hasn't really been in the spotlight in the different debates and conversations that I've heard from others, and I think it's extremely important. It's come up when I've talked to other citizens, other people, other groups of people, but others running haven't really talked about it much, um, and and that concerns me a little bit because our public safety. We've talked about growth, bringing businesses in, increasing housing. If our public safety is not up to par, we lose it. And I'm not saying that to be shock value. It's just a matter of fact. If crime rate goes through the roof, people won't stand for it, no matter how good their property taxes are. If we don't have the ability to cover our city well in fire prevention and with our fire department, insurance rates go up to a point to where that can't be sustained. And honestly, like I said, the best resource we have in this city is the people of Ottumwa, the people of this city. We need to guard every life, every life we need to guard, and we need to be able to provide services to guard those lives, whether it be from violence or from just simply illness and emergency services. Those are all things that need to improve. And that the extension of that goes into our hospital and improvement of that hospital. I'm going to talk about that in a separate video. I want to focus right now on public safety. Um, and I've done some videos where I've kind of compared some of the things to Mason City because I just look at them as real similar to us. They're not near a metropolitan area. Population, they're pretty close to what we are. Um, our tax levy is a lot better. Tax generation is a lot better. We talked about that in a previous video, so I would encourage you to go find that. Um, if I look at their public safety, their police department, they have a much better. They have just a little over a 2 to 1,000 ratio. We're at what is it? About 1.6, and they're at a 2.1, if I remember right. Yeah, they're at a 2.1 per thousand. We're at a 1.6, so we're behind the eight ball, and yeah, we're behind in that matter. I would love to see it at least a two, because that gives not only the resources necessary for our police department, but it also gives them the ability to recharge and have rest and not be overworked, having to put in more overtime, things like that. And the personnel is one thing. I think we could also do a better job of just providing resources for them, whether it be training, education, equipment, making sure that they have an environment that they thrive in, an environment that they just love working in. Because honestly, that and fire department, emergency, medical, those are professions of the heart. Those are professions to where they love what they're doing and they're putting their life on the line each and every time that they go out there into a situation that they have no idea what it is, and they're doing that for us to serve others. So it's such an honorable profession, and I think it's wrong if we dishonor that by not providing the resources necessary for them to do their job well. Specifically, the fire department. Right now, we have two fire stations, and um, the way the personnel. Oh, I want to first start off. City council meeting. We had the swearing in of, if I remember right, five, maybe six new firefighters, and then some promotions of others. So, to all of you that are part of that fire department, thank you, congratulations. I've said before, it was amazing to see how well you guys worked when we had the fire downtown in the grocery store on Main Street. And what you guys did there was and then talking to you guys, knowing that you were exhausted before you got there and you still did the job that you needed to do. Thank you. And when I say that, I've learned that our current fire department and the number of personnel is way, way below what it needs to be. And that's just not me saying that. That's the standards set by the National Fire Protection Agency and OSHA. There are standards that they set for our city size and our city population of what they see is necessary to properly cover the city well with our fire department so that we're not burning out our fire department. Right now, we're well below that. So, in order for our fire department to do the job that they've been called to do, they've been putting themselves in a position that isn't right. They've been overworked. They've been overworked to a point to where now, though, there are personnel that become exhausted and are looking for other places to go because the work environment here is not sustainable. We have got to figure out a way to do better for them. Um, and I know we look at the budget and we're like, how can we? We're already upside down. I know it's hard and the budget's hard. We have got to find a way to grow. That's the only way it's going to happen is if we find a way for our city to grow and grow our tax generation. If we're not generating more tax revenue, it's not going to happen. And as I've stated before, if we try to do it on the property tax or we add more fees, we add more stuff to the citizens, that's not going to bring growth. That's going to bring degeneration. So we've got to get this growing and we've got to get it moving in the right direction. Our public safety people require it. We cannot be asking more from them. One of the things that I've learned recently is that the amount of overtime from the fire department, if we had two or three more personnel, we just brought on five. So maybe that'll get us at least to where we have a band-aid on the problem. But we pay enough overtime to where we can pay regular salaries to new people. So why aren't we doing it more? Why aren't we? That's a question we need to ask. That's something we need to make a hard look at. And then when it comes to emergency medical EMTs, I know the hospital is providing those, and we have two. My understanding is we have two ambulances. The fire department has one that's not in service. Um, is that enough? Is that enough to cover our city, our county? Um, what happens when one of those is gone transferring a patient to another medical facility in Iowa City or Des Moines, and now we're covering the entire place with one? And I know that there's other emergency medical teams throughout the county that would come and help us out. Do we have the ability to help them if they need it? That's a point of concern as well. Public safety is essential for growth and as we grow. Because as I've said, I mean, if you look at it from the financial side, if we don't have the proper coverage of public safety, crime grows up, um, fire prevention goes down, medical treatment goes down, and that causes insurance to go up. And then it becomes an expense that is no longer sustainable, and we can't do that. So we've got to start looking at our public safety. And then the other side of this is how do we improve our health system, our hospital? That was a question that was asked to me in one of the debates. I'm going to make a separate video on that. In fact, I'm going to record it and release it probably near the same time. So just to kind of keep it so it's not super long, but I would encourage you to check that out. Check out that what my thoughts are there for because some of it I mentioned, but I've learned more, and so I want to talk about that as well. So I'm glad you joined me for this video. Um, Support our police department, support our fire department, support our emergency medical technicians. They are out there each and every day, um, overworked, underpaid, putting their life on the line, serving us. Why? Because they love to. They love doing it. That's really what it comes down to. That's the only reason they're around is because they love this community. They love serving you. So thank them for what they're doing. I'm thanking you, each police officer, each firefighter, each emergency medical technician. Thank you for everything that you do putting your life on the line, going above and beyond. Um, Now, as a city, we need to respond and we need to help you. We need to support you. And I'm committed to do that. That's part of putting our best foot forward. So that's one of my goals as mayor. And like I said, get out there and vote.